The winners and new champions of Dancing with the Stars are Hannah and Alan.
Today, Hannah Brown takes home the mirror ball. Carter Oosterhouse and Taniya Nayak get us ready for the great Christmas light fight.
That was awesome!
And Jasmin Roth is here talking about a Very Brady Renovation holiday edition.
Nothing says the holidays like power tools.
This is your reality check.
I don't even know what's happening.
Happy Tuesday, y'all. Welcome to the show. The countdown to Thanksgiving is almost over. I can't wait, neither can my stomach. I'm Darren Karp. With me today is People.com reality expert and best friend of the show, Dave Quinn.
I am starving for Thanksgiving food.
I'm ready. Are you starving yourself this week? Ready?
No. I mean, like, I'm ready for it. Like, I want to eat it. I'm eating everything in my path to get there. I'm training for it. I'm building stomach space.
It's a holiday sport, Thanksgiving is.
Exactly.
Well, Dave, you know how we start the show. It's time for our top 5. At number 5, Jenna Dewan is saying goodbye to one life chapter as she looks ahead to the next. After the reality star and ex Channing Tatum were declared single by a judge on November 19th, a source close to the host and actress says that she's very relieved to have closed that chapter. Dewan and Tatum announced their separation nearly 2 years ago after almost 9 years of marriage. The former couple are still working out a financial settlement and continue to share custody of their 6-year-old daughter, Everly. Dave, what do you think about this? I mean, I know that divorces are often public, but they seem to be co-parenting very well.
Yeah, and they're both very, very happy. You know, he's in a good relationship with Jessie J, and she's doing really well. She's engaged. Oh, no, sorry, not engaged yet, but she's expecting a baby with Steve Kazee.
Oh, my gosh.
I hope that they're getting engaged. I'm putting it out there in the universe because I want them to get engaged.
You love, Dave.
I love, and I love Steve Kazee. He was a big Broadway actor, Tony winner for Once, and a dear, dear friend. I'm really happy for the two.
And listen, as long as they're healthy, Everly will be fine with it.
Yeah, exactly. And you know what? It's like, it's nice to finally have that chapter in her life behind her.
I agree.
She can kind of look forward to the future.
She's ready.
She's ready.
At number 4. Carmelo Anthony was cheered on by a special virtual fan during Monday's game against the Chicago Bulls, his 12-year-old son, Kyan. The basketball player, who was recently signed by the Portland Trail Blazers more than a year after he was cut by the Houston Rockets in 2018, put his season's best performance Monday night, scoring 25 points. To commemorate the moment, Carmelo's ex, Lala Anthony, FaceTimed their son from the sidelines to be a part of the special moment. I mean, do you think that these two will get back together? They were such a power couple. I mean, I'm a Knicks fan, so I kind of want to see him come back and then get together again.
Okay, well, I don't understand anything you just said.
It's
but
sports, Dave.
Okay,
sports.
I will just say I would love to see them get back together because I know that they had a really special bond and they seem to be co-parenting pretty well. So I'm rooting for them.
Yeah, I mean, she FaceTime. I mean, like, he's so cute and like on the sidelines. I thought that was like a really special moment.
Yeah, I mean, it's got to be amazing for him to achieve such a great milestone in his career and then to have his son there.
I'm surprised they don't have like a Cayenne hologram just to like put up on the side. He can watch it.
I'm sure.
2020.
We'll invest in that.
2020. At number 3, Cameron is mourning the death of his girlfriend, Tawassa Harris. On Monday, the 43-year-old rapper posted a heartfelt Instagram tribute to Harris, whose death was revealed on November 21st by a friend on Facebook. The former Love and Hip Hop New York star began the post by thanking his family, friends, and fans for their condolences. He then clarified the history of his relationship with Tawassa, saying, "This is someone I went out with years ago when we got back together a year and a half ago, and I had the best time of my life during that period. She was the person I spent 3 to 4 nights a week with, the person I fell asleep on the phone with, my biggest supporter. This was really the love of my life." This is such a sad story.
Yeah, can you imagine having that person in your life not be there anymore? I mean, even after a breakup, that's one thing.
Right, and reuniting and coming back.
Not being there forever. It's so permanent and it's sad, and I feel bad for him.
It was such a nice post because it's like, I think it just goes to show that when you're in a relationship for that long, it really does build to a friendship, which to some extent is even more than romance. It's just like this bond, and to not have that, it's very unfortunate.
And I think even if you do have a bad breakup, which I don't know whether they did or not, but you can never really look back negatively about somebody who you've been with for that long and shared those sorts of experiences. So
I agree with that.
Something like this really puts that in perspective for all of us.
Absolutely. Well, you know, our thoughts and prayers are with Cameron and Tawassa's family and friends, of course. And at number 2, Jada Pinkett Smith admits even husband Will Smith needs the occasional talking to when joking about women's bodies. During Monday's episode of Red Table Talk, rapper T.I. addressed the controversy surrounding his statements about his teenage daughter's virginity. The conversation brought up complexities of raising boys versus girls, with Jada elaborating on how she's established parenting boundaries between her and Will. She says, "There's certain things about raising a man that I can't know. I would tell Will, love your daughter, let me teach her, because there's certain sensitivities that you might not understand and have just because of your relationship in the world is different." Do you believe in like sort of a different like gender, sex parenting type of thing?
Of course, you know, I certainly think there are things that a father can teach a son and a mother can teach a daughter that the other parents may not necessarily seem to understand on that sort of personal level.
Right, it's a comfort level thing. I mean, I'm glad that T.I., we'd sort of discussed this before, had cleared everything up, but like,
Right.
Even an own dad, Will Smith, can get into trouble in hot water nowadays, and sometimes it's just about navigating those complexities.
Yeah, and this doesn't mean that any child who grows up with us in a single-parent household is losing anything,
Of course.
right? But it certainly explains why it may be harder for some of them to understand those sorts of things.
Absolutely, absolutely. And at number 1, Sadie Robertson is married. The Duck Dynasty star tied the knot with her fiancé, Christian Huff, on her family's Louisiana farm on Monday. For their nuptials, the couple transformed a tennis court into a stunning spot to say their I do's. Sadie wore a plush white strapless dress with a dramatic train, flowing veil, and long white gloves. The couple wed in front of more than 600 guests, including her season 19 Dancing with the Stars castmate, Alfonso Ribeiro. 600 people, Dave.
600 people is out of control.
I don't know 6 people.
Okay, 600 people, though, that's like just a Duck Dynasty, day. There's so many of them.
I guess on a tennis court, it's like, I would be intimidated. I want to know what the food is like. Are there enough chairs for people?
I mean, I definitely would assume buffet, right? You can't do a sit-down dinner with 600.
See, I don't know, but it's Duck Dynasty. Like,
I didn't
go
see
either
any
way.
camouflage at any of that wedding. That's the most surprising thing.
Right,
for
no
me.
camo wedding dress is very surprising.
I would have
although
done a camo wedding dress if I were.
You are going to do a camo wedding dress. What are you talking about?
You know me so well.
Yeah. We got to go to break, when we have a special treat for you. When we come back, stay tuned.
The winners and new champions of Dancing with the Stars are Hannah and Alan.
Yay, Hannah, welcome back. In honor of this year's Mirror Ball champs, Miss Hannah Brown and her partner Alan, I'd like to play this interview Dave had with them at the start of their Dancing with the Stars journey. Take it away.
On the line from LA are one of the hottest couples on Dancing with the Stars, Hannah and Alan. You guys are so cute. Hi.
Thank you so much for having us. We're so excited to be here.
Oh, you guys are right in the midst of rehearsals, it looks like, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
I was just say we just had a rehearsal, so we're a little bit sweaty. Sorry for that.
And I'm sorry, I thought you were in LA, but you're in Alabama.
Yeah, I guess we're in Alabama.
Well, I want to start with the fan question today. At Aaron K. Long 90 wants to know, what is your partner's weirdest quirk?
Ooh, Hannah only comes to rehearsals on time if I bring food.
Oh my gosh. I don't know if I don't know what it is.
I'm very passionate, probably.
Yes, and he makes all these weird sounds when he dances, but it does help. I'm trying to adapt that. But it'll be like, ooh, ah, and make like,
I'm like a tennis player while
he's
I'm
a
dancing.
really good girl dancer. He has
all
to be a
right.
girl dancer.
Wait, what
so
kind of food gets you to rehearsals?
Steak and egg burritos.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
good. That would get me there too.
Specifically from Erewhon.
Yeah. If I know that there's a burrito, I'll be there early.
So on Monday's episode, Hannah, you were a bit homesick. Did having your parents drop by and then dancing to Carrie Underwood's Southern Bound help you cope?
It was really great to have my parents this past week. They were actually going to be in town for some business, and then they ended up coming a little bit early so that we could spend some time together. And it has been such a crazy year that I haven't seen them in a long time. So with the competition heating up and getting a little bit more stressed just because I want to do my very best, it was great to have them here with me and to give that comfort to something that's really uncomfortable for me to do.
And Robert brought his hips. That were
Yeah,
really awesome.
he taught me my hip actions.
I loved it. They were so supportive of you, and it's so nice to see that love between you all.
Yeah, they're the best. Sometimes the little time that we got together, we just really reminisce on how I even got to where I am. And it's something that nobody could have anticipated how fast and how life-changing this past year has been. But they have been so supportive in the good and even the hard, in the hard times especially, of just comforting me and reminding me that I've got this and that I'm only going up from here.
Well, the other Alabama Hannah G, has moved to the West Coast to be closer to her fiance, Dylan. Do you ever get to hang out with her, reminisce about the South?
Yeah, actually, she came to the show last week, and we went to dinner after Demi and Hannah and I, and it was so great because she sat by my mom during the show, and she said that she got a little teary-eyed too watching it because she can really relate to what has been going on in my life because she's going through it right now. And there's nothing like being at home, being in the South with your mama, and then, moving out to the West Coast, which is awesome and wonderful and has so many adventures, but it can be a big adjustment. And so I think it's really great that we're both out in LA together now so that we can just,
Well, let's go back to Monday's performance. The judges remarked how difficult that country samba was and gave you some notes. Now, how are you working on improving for this coming week?
You want to take that?
I'll start. The judges give the best feedback possible. They know exactly what they want to see. I think Hannah did an incredible job. Samba's one of the hardest dances to do, and it wasn't easy to do it to a country song, but it fits so well with Hannah that we try to make it work. This week, I feel like we have something to prove.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think about that?
Of course, it's sometimes disappointing, to hear criticism ever. But the judges are giving me constructive criticism that I'm really going to try to work better, to sit in the pocket of the music, stay grounded, and honestly, just have fun and take what they have to say. But I think sometimes I'm so focused on what the judges think and how they feel that I don't necessarily I'm not able to commit and have fun. And this week, I'm just going to have fun, and I feel like that will make me dance better.
Yeah,
I think so.
Get out of your head a little bit, just be in the moment with it.
At first, it's really messy up in here, and so when that happens, it makes it a little difficult.
I totally understand that. Now, can you tell us all about your costumes that you'll be wearing? I want to know, it's Halloween episode. What am I going to see?
It's going to be good.
What can we say?
What can we say? It's going to be a little homage to her past.
Mm-hmm.
She might be a dead or alive pageant queen. We don't know yet.
Ooh.
She'll be dead.
All
She'll
right.
be dead. It's Halloween.
That's good. That's a nice little treat.
Yeah.
One of your fans wants to know, what dance style are you guys really hoping to get to before the season ends?
I want to do, I love the ballroom dances, so I want to do as many of those as I can. So I think quick step and jive, that's Latin. That's Latin. But I want to really do a quick step, and the jive would be fun, but I really want to do a contemporary.
Yeah,
that's the one that I really want to do.
Yesterday we were talking, and Hannah was like, I really want to do a contemporary, something where she can show her emotions. And I hope that we can get to that point.
Yeah, I want to see that.
I feel like a contemporary would be perfect.
Yeah, I feel very not comfortable in the classic ballroom dances, but I like being in frame, so I'm excited to do a dance like that again. But I think I think contemporary dances, you really get to show a side of you and like your heart if you have the right song and the right emotion behind that. And I would just love to be able to do that.
Well,
and I think it might fit me.
I hope you get to that part, because that's what I want to see too.
Yeah.
Yes.
Alan, you've been on the Dancing with the Stars tour before. A lot of fans want you to be there with Hannah. Hannah, would you ever consider joining a tour like that?
We've definitely talked about it. I think it would be really fun. It's just figuring out what life is after this. I have been on television for a year. And so with that has come many opportunities that I'm looking forward to. And so it's just making sure everything aligns schedule-wise and that I do get a little bit of a break and can have a little bit of fun too, which I think tour would be fun. So it's just figuring out if it is possible, but it's definitely something I'm interested in.
Alan, does Hannah talk about her exes from The Bachelorette to you? Does she fill you in on all that stuff?
I'm very well aware of everything that happened on Bachelorette.
All
It's
the
funny,
secrets.
All the secrets. I can tell that she's a little, she's growing so much on this journey on Dancing with the Stars, and I feel like it's somewhat therapeutic to get that out. The rage room definitely helped.
Yeah.
So
He actually said today, which at first, I mean, I just finished The Bachelorette, like talking about it would anything about my experience was difficult for me. And it would take a little bit of like a therapy session. But now I feel like this has been really good for me to, handle and process what's happened. And I feel like I've moved forward a lot.
I'm glad to see it, really, because I know it's a lot to go through. And now we're getting ready to start this next chapter because Pete's going to be the new Bachelor. Having dated him on your season, what do you think will be his biggest challenge with dating all those women?
I think it's really hard just in general with anybody who is the lead of Bachelor or Bachelorette, to just really go all in, but then go all in and trust, because as much as I really do know that I was completely myself and was giving it my 100%, you don't know other people's intentions, and then that can make you want to hold back, but you can't, because this is the journey that you're on. He is the Bachelor, and I think it's really going all in and really making sure that you're making your own decisions, you're following your heart, and then just, I don't know. I think just remembering that this is not real life. I mean, it is real, but it's temporary. And can these relationships, what I'm feeling, work in the outside world too? And it's a lot. I mean, it is a lot. And I think I know Peter has a great heart and is a genuine guy. So I just really hope that it works for him.
I appreciate so much that you always live your life with honesty and really put it all out there. I think that that's a really tough quality to have, and you've been through so much. I just am such a fan. I have to ask, because Tyler C., I know, officially moved to New York City. Have you two been in touch?
No, we have had, like, he texted me once on my birthday, but that was literally one text. We don't really talk. So I wish him well, but it's not like really anything. I've moved on, he's moved on.
And you've got a lot on your plate with this Dancing with the Stars. I'm telling you, you are busy, and I'm so grateful that you found some time to chat with me here at People. I know your other castmate, Mike, has been seen dating around the public. Last week, he asked Keke Palmer out on GMA. Do you think that relationship has a chance?
I have no idea. I didn't really know anything about that. Yeah, look, I am so supportive of the guys that I met on my Bachelorette journey and wish them well. And I'm so glad for the support that some of the guys do show me, but I don't really keep up with their dating life at this point. That's not really my business. And so, yeah. So if that works out, cool. If it doesn't, okay.
Well, thank you both so much for coming in today and chatting with me. I know you have to get back to your rehearsal. I don't want to take up more time.
Thank you so much. It was such a pleasure, and we're so glad we could do this. And we
Watch on Monday.
Watch on Monday, and thank you so much for the support. And yeah, like Hannah said, vote.
Welcome back to the show. I have Carter Oosterhouse and Taniya Nayak on the line from ABC's Great Christmas Light Fight. How you two doing?
Good. How are you?
Doing awesome. We're getting in the holiday spirit.
You guys look like you're in the holiday spirit with the scarves and the green. I'm so excited for it. The Great Christmas Light Fight is back for its 7th season. Congratulations. Why do you think people keep wanting more of this?
It's infectious when you see Christmas lights and people laughing and smiling. Like, you can't help but smile yourself. So I think that people are drawn to that, but then again, there's also the lights.
Yeah,
there's a lot of lights.
A lot of lights. You know, the cool thing is, you know, I think year after year, the beauty about this show is that there is that Christmas spirit, that with all the craziness that happens in the world, for some reason, you have people even more so now today are really getting into that sort of, that belief, that fun, that wonderment, and that excitement. And, you know, look, there's more lights than ever before on the show, so that's even better.
I think that's the interesting thing, is that every year it gets bigger, and it doesn't seem possible, but it does.
It's actually incredible. I always say it's the most romantic time of the year, and the lights just add to that. I mean, what has set this season apart from previous years, would you say?
This season, we have some special episodes, a heavyweight episode where last year Carter did some heavyweights, and you had, what, 4 million lights?
4 million lights, yeah.
This year, I have a display that had 6 million lights, if you can even wrap your head around that.
I just want to know what the electricity bill is for something that's 6 million lights.
So does everybody else.
I mean, how much time do they spend on these monstrosities? Like, how long does it take from start to finish, would you say, on average?
Yeah, they spend a lot of time. You know, some people start setting up in August obviously for the Christmas time. But the cool thing about this year is that people are really getting creative, and they're figuring out how to make more DIY front and center of their display. So instead of just putting out lights, and for me as a builder, I love seeing how crafty these people have become, and they're making pieces that otherwise wouldn't move, maybe store-bought, and they're customizing them, making them mobile. And, you know, look, they've seen the show now. We're on for our 7th season, so they know what it takes to win $50,000.
Well, I'm so excited to see this year's heavyweight competition that you mentioned. In this clip, you're checking out Lucy and Alvin's massive display. What's the coolest or most interactive display that you've ever seen?
Well, you know, interaction is a really big deal for both Carter and I. We love getting hands-on, getting in there, and when you're being pulled in to actually interact with the displays, it makes it that more of a personal connection. So with Lucy and Alvin, I mean, this was just monstrosity. This display that you're looking at right here was incredible, and you could actually walk through the display and take so many different pictures and interact. They had slides, all kinds of things like that. There was an actual light-up floor that you could hop, skip, and jump on.
So cool.
Yeah, but I know with Carter, you've gone into actual, like, Santa's workshops, right? With real live elves.
Yeah, I mean, again, like, when people are getting involved, like real people, and they're actually a part of the show, that's always fun. And when somebody mentions Sia or has some Sia Christmas music comes out, I'm a big fan.
I don't know what's with him and Sia.
Sia seals the deal for you guys, I imagine. But
totally.
This makes me so happy. You know, at like any age, whether you're 5 or 85, these lights are just so wonderful. Have you seen any inclusion of other winter holidays incorporated into the light displays?
Oh, that's a good question. I mean, we do see a lot of winter wonderland, so it's not just about Christmas. We also see displays that incorporate different religions, different cultures into the mix, so we always love that. In fact, that one that we were just looking at there, They are from China, and that whole display is based off of Chinese lanterns. So what you were looking at were not actual structures. They were made out of a fabric to have that look and feel of a lantern. So I thought that was really cool, bringing that culture
super unique
here. Right.
Yeah, that's absolutely incredible. I have to ask, are you two big on holiday decorating your own homes? And what does that look like?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
You would think that we would be more into it, but the reality is we start shooting this like 3 days, up until Christmas, essentially.
Right.
So it's hard for us. I don't know. Maybe that's just a disclaimer just to say why we don't decorate our own homes. But it also is hard to go home when you see all these fantastic, wonderful, amazing Christmas displays. You just don't feel like you can really compete with them.
Right, but you know what? There are such simple things that you can do to decorate your house, and I know for both Carter and I, who have limited time, but we still want that festive feeling, putting in some holiday throw pillows or adding some drapery that has more of a heavyweight velvet feel to it, throw rugs. These are easy things to change in and out in your home to give it a more festive look. And also, it's quick.
Not 6 million lights.
My Christmas tree, I shouldn't even admit this, but my Christmas tree, I pop it open like an umbrella, I plug it in, good to go.
Wow, that is a hot gossip coming from you. I'm surprised.
Yeah.
What is a good tip? You mentioned some inside the house tips. What's good like outside the house if you're kind of on a budget but you still want to look festive? What's a good thing to go to?
Yeah, I mean, the thing is you don't have to have, 30 acres of land covered if you want to have a great display. Even on the light show, we've had people with really small pieces of land. But it's just about, obviously a DIY is good, and custom-made pieces are fantastic. But the balance of your display, how it looks within your house, so you don't have too many, bigger pieces on one side and, nothing on the other side, or dark holes in areas. If you can just sort of canvas the area in a nice, almost symmetrical and balanced look, I think that will, it will save you a lot of money and a lot of time, and the design will look a lot better.
Carter's big on balance. I gotta fix your.
Sorry.
Make that a little more.
Fix him up. Fix him up. You guys work on a number of different shows. How does working on this show compare to the other shows you've worked on, like Trading Spaces or Restaurant Impossible?
It's so much fun. I think when we're working on those shows, we're hands-on. We're doing basically what the light fighters are doing. We're racing against the clock. We're building one-of-a-kind, unique pieces, which is a great reason why we can relate to what they're doing. And, we have that know-how and knowledge. But this one, we're really just getting into the holiday spirit, and it's so happy that I find myself, no joke, I am massaging my cheeks at the end of every single shoot because my cheeks hurt from smiling so much.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen a light show on the show that was a little disappointing, or you were expecting so much better than it is, or do you find yourself just being continually impressed?
That's a great question.
It is a really good question.
Look, some of them are better than others. So if that's
it's a competition.
It's a competition.
Right?
So I don't know if that's a good way to answer it. Yeah, there are some that maybe don't measure up. But there's, been, first off, 7 years that we've been shooting this show. And we're already shooting for next year, which is really fun too. But look, at the end of the day, the people are on it for a very good reason. And now that the show's had so much success, we see people who are coming into it 4 years in that just started 4 years ago, and they're still on the show and competing for that prize, which is kind of shocking that they're kind of newbies and they're doing it at such an amazing level.
I want to see all the winners have a light fight against each other.
Yes.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
The ultimate light fight test of some sort. Well, honestly, I got to say, you're one of my favorite shows on TV. It's so happy. It's so fun. Carter and Taniya, thank you so much for chatting with us. Happy holidays, of course.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks
Appreciate
so much. Happy holidays.
You too. Be sure to catch the 2019 Great Christmas Light Fight premiering December 2nd on ABC. Well, listen, we have to take a quick break, but on the other side, we're talking to HGTV's Jasmin Roth. Stay tuned.
Wall 2 going into place. Uh-oh.
Okay.
We've got a problem. We built the wall around him. Help! I'm lost in Brady land.
Welcome back to the show. Dave's back from breaking more news, and now we're joined by HGTV star and home renovator, designer, and all-around boss lady, Jasmin Roth. Hey, how are you, Jasmin?
Hi, guys. Good to see you.
Good to see you, too. You know, this fall you were part of a Very Brady renovation where you worked with other HGTV stars to renovate the iconic real-life Brady Bunch house. My boss, Andy Cohen, did a whole cosplay thing. He was obsessed with it. We love it here. In a nutshell, what was that experience like for you?
I mean, it was completely surreal, right? I mean, there's nothing else like the Brady Bunch. And I always tell everybody, like, I'm definitely living my mom's best life because she grew up watching the Brady Bunch. I grew up watching the Brady Bunch with her. And to have all 6 Brady kids, right? They're not kids anymore, to work on this house and be so involved and just so into it, and to have their firsthand experience as the guiding light through this whole project was so cool.
I love that.
It must have been totally surreal for them, but what was it like working with all those TV icons?
Insane. It was like the first day we got there, I'm meeting them all and they're introducing themselves. I'm like, I know who you guys are. Like, everybody knows who you guys are. This is crazy. And I didn't know what I was getting into. I didn't know if they were going to be ready to actually work and want to do construction, or if they were going to want to be more like, I don't know, actors and kind of, you know, just be along for the ride. They wanted to work. They wanted to get into it. They loved the idea of the set that they grew up on becoming a real house. And that's exactly what we did. And they were really, really into it.
I love that. That sounds highly intimidating. And also, what was it like, though, working with all those HGTV stars? I mean, you all have your own shows. Was there a sense of competitiveness on set between you all?
Well, I don't know if I would say competitive as much as just like a mutual admiration. I was definitely the newbie. So for me, it was completely insane to be able to work with all of these people who, I mean, I grew up watching their shows. I've come into my career watching their shows. And now to be able to work with them, next to them, shoulder to shoulder, was so cool. So for me, it was definitely this like, oh my gosh, like this is really happening moment. And everybody was so nice. It wasn't competitive. It was just really fun to all work together. And it was a huge project. So I think each of us felt really happy that everybody was there because we needed each other. Like, we literally needed all the help we could get.
Did you get any good tips from any of them that you could apply to your own work?
Oh, man. Yeah, so I worked a lot with Barry Williams, and I mean, of course, he's Greg Brady. And so he's an actor, and he's a trained actor. I'm not an actor. I do reality TV. I do what I do, and there just so happens to be a camera there. So, you know, sometimes he would be like in a really great mood, and I'm like, what's going on, man? Why are you having such a great day? He's like, this is just me turning on my Brady personality.
Yeah, right.
I'm like, what's a Brady personality? And he's like, you need to be able to just have that Brady personality. And so that was kind of the ongoing thing, like, just get that Brady personality.
Happiness all the time. You know, I'm curious, when you got approached about rejoining forces for a holiday edition of the series, were you excited or maybe even a little skeptical?
Oh my goodness, I was so excited. I didn't really know how it was going to play out. I don't know about you guys, but like, when my family gets together for Christmas, it's really fun. It's a little stressful. The holidays bring out things in people that you might not be expecting. And I'm like, is this going to be, you know, what is this going to be like? We've finished the house. We've moved on. We've all gone back to our lives. And now we're going to come back together and like just hang out in the house. That sounds amazing. So yeah, that's exactly what happened. And I was a little skeptical, but once we got there and started working on the house, it was just like we went home for the holidays.
And you're constructing holiday decorations on the show with this Brady Bunch cast. Are you big on holiday decorations in your own home?
Yes. So fun fact, I'm actually posting it today. My house is completely decorated because for HGTV, I did a photo shoot, and that meant that I decorated my house like 2 weeks early. And my husband's like, what is going on in our house? I'm like, oh, don't worry about it. But, you know, Ree and I, we had such a fun time getting this house ready for the holidays. I do a lot of DIYs in my own house. And so to be able to do those with the Bradys, 70s themed holiday decor, I mean, is there anything better?
It sounds amazing. Is there, what's the one thing that I could possibly recreate in my own home?
Oh, Definitely not Ree's cooking. No, I'm just kidding. She's such a good chef, though. I'm like looking at everything she made, and I'm like, how did you make all of this? This looks so good, and it was delicious. I was like, I'm going to try to make this year. But for the DIY projects, we did some really fun stuff, and literally everything we did. Oh, one of them that we did that was so fun. We used big beach balls, and we made them into yard ornaments that were really, really fun. So I think that would be one that you might be into.
Cool.
That's so smart. Well, it's been 7 years since you quit your corporate day job to pursue your love of renovating houses in 2012, and now you're rocking it as a celebrity renovator with shows including Hidden Potential and Rock the Block. What has been the most exciting show to be a part of, would you say?
I mean, the Brady Show was once in a lifetime, and I didn't think anything could top that. And I don't know, then we started doing Rock the Block, and I got real sucked in. So Rock the Block was a competition show, which I don't know, I don't really consider myself like drama or maybe even competitive. And I got in there, and it was the real deal. I mean, it was 1 month of absolute craziness and not knowing what the competition was doing, giving it my all, trying as hard as I possibly could to win, and it was really fun. Again, really competitive, but a lot of like mutual respect for the other girls. So I'd say Rock the Block was the biggest show I've been a part of, and somewhere I never, ever expected to be, especially in 7 years.
And you won too, right? You won Rock the Block.
I did.
I know, you're being like coy about the fact that you were like the big winner. Did you, are you still rubbing that in the faces of your competitors?
No, I'm not. I mean, this sounds cheesy, guys, but I truly believe that like just being a part of that show, I mean, all these girls, like the 4 of us, we all have our own TV shows. That's a win. And just to be invited was a huge win. Obviously, somebody had to win. I worked really, really hard, and I'm glad it was me. But everybody did such a great job. And you know what was really the coolest part of that? Was seeing the same exact house 4 ways, which I don't think you really get to do that often. And it was so cool to walk through the other girls' houses and like, oh my gosh, when I walked into Leanne's house, I was like, I'm gonna quit my job.
Yeah, right.
It was so good.
Exactly.
It was really good.
Well, you're quite a family-oriented person as well. What's your key to balancing work and home life? You're so busy.
So I don't know if you guys know this, but I'm pregnant.
Congratulations!
Yeah.
Congrats.
I know. Actually, people broke the news a little while ago, and but you can't really tell yet. Like I have my first pair of maternity jeans on today, so that's a thing, and a lot's changing. So balancing work and home has always been something that's really important for myself and my husband. He also works a lot. But now more than ever, it's something that I have to make my home life a priority. And I think, you know, being able to work with these other HGTV hosts and seeing how they do it. Mina has a baby, Leanne has a baby, and I'm really leaning on them and asking them a lot of questions. But yeah, so I'm due at the end of April and filming right up until the baby arrives. I mean, I'm gonna leave the film crew at the door of the hospital, though. They're not coming in with me.
Well, I'm born at the end of April, so let me just tell you, you've got to have a good Taurus on your hands. Do you know if you're having a boy or a girl yet?
Not yet, but I'm going to find out. And I know you're gonna ask me what I'm hoping for. I honestly,
No.
it's a 50-50 chance, and my husband and I are both just like, we just want a healthy baby. But I am gonna find out.
And how does Brett feel?
He's so excited. He's super excited. I mean, it's not that we weren't trying, but I think with everything going on and everything happening, you kind of forget about it, and then it's something that happens. And even if you are trying, I don't think you're ever like really ready. So 4.5 months, we've got another 6 months, and hopefully by then we'll feel a little bit more prepared. I'm building us a house, so I have to finish the house and then put the nursery in that house, so.
Oh gosh, you are busy.
I want to date you. Like, how do I get this? Like, oh my God. I know, she's like, oh, I'm just building a house. Like, yeah, okay, that sounds awesome.
So this is exciting because it'll be kind of like your last Thanksgiving and Christmas as a couple. Are you planning on doing anything, just the 2 of you, before, you know, baby comes?
That's a good question. You know, like, for years, we're huge snowboarders, and we travel the world snowboarding. We've been to South America. We spent the last 2 New Years in Japan snowboarding. So I feel like we kind of had this list. We've been together for 14 years. So we had this list that we wanted to kind of see the world and travel together and do all these things. And we checked pretty much everything off the list. So it's kind of like we're ready. Like we're ready to just kind of be homebodies for a year or two, settle down, have our baby, keep working our butts off like we do, but just kind of take a breath and then kind of pick back up because we want to travel with our kids a lot.
Is there like a place that you haven't snowboarded yet that's on bucket list? Just so, you know, I ski. I want to know what the good hot spots are.
Okay, yeah, of course. Definitely Alaska is top of my list right now. The problem, I don't know if it's a problem so much, but like you have to go on a helicopter and it's like a whole thing. So yeah, Alaska's on the list, but no snowboarding for me this year. I got to take the season off, and I'll pick up next season.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
You can ski. You can take my place this year.
Done. Done.
And as far as Thanksgiving is concerned, you know, that's obviously coming up so soon. Has there been any like cravings that you've been having with the pregnancy that you're really looking forward to chowing down on for Thanksgiving?
I mean, I wish I could blame it on the pregnancy, but I love Thanksgiving food, mashed potatoes. So I don't really eat carbs usually. I usually eat paleo, which is like really boring. I don't want to get into it, but I don't eat a lot of carbs. And I feel great because of it. I have a lot of energy. But as soon as I got pregnant, my doctor was like, oh, no, none of that. Like, you need to eat carbs and dairy and all this stuff. So I've just been inhaling food, which has been really fun. But Thanksgiving is going to be no different. I always eat a ton anyway. So yeah, no weird cravings yet, really. More just a lot of nausea dealing with that. But what are you going to do?
I hope there's no nausea on Thanksgiving or ever in your life. But I got to ask, because I asked my friends this, are you one of those people that eats Thanksgiving dinner at like 2 o'clock in the afternoon, or are you doing an actual dinner?
We're doing like a mid-afternoon dinner. But the cool thing is because we're in California, normally we get to eat outside. But this year, it's supposed to rain. So we're actually going to be inside, which I grew up on the East Coast, and normally it's like cold and rainy and muddy on Thanksgiving. So it's kind of cool. It's like a throwback to where I grew up.
That sounds awesome. I want to be invited.
Yeah, we're ready to come. We
are ready to come. Jasmin, thank you so much for joining us today, and congratulations on your baby.
Yeah.
We're excited to see all the come.
Thank you so much.
Tune in to a Very Brady Renovation Holiday Edition premiering December 16th on HGTV. When we come back, we'll have your daily fix of reality TV history. Well, that's it for today. Big thanks to Carter Oosterhouse, Taniya, Nayak, and Jasmin Roth for joining me. And as always, the lovely Dave Quinn for being with me today. Make sure you're following @People on Twitter so you can catch the latest episode of Reality Check, which streams Monday through Thursday at 4:30 p.m. Eastern. To wrap out our show, here's a moment from a fun show called Punked. I'm Darren Karp, and that was your Reality Check.
We're at Justin Timberlake's house. We're inside. We're seizing his property because he owes back taxes.
In this 2003 episode of Punked, Ashton Kutcher's undercover crew convinces Justin Timberlake that the IRS is repossessing everything the 22-year-old pop star holds dear.
If the fee is not recouped, we'll have to have a public auction for this night. No, the dogs are put in a government pound, and they'll be taken care of.
You took on dogs?
Ashton's intentionally clumsy charade,
Do not step on my belongings, please.
and JT's emotional and incredibly gullible reaction
It's government property now.
made this one of the most unforgettable moments in reality history.
So you don't make enough money on music to pay off your taxes, huh? Maybe you should try TV.